After a years-long wait, the highly anticipated live sim game Paralives has finally been released, to the delight of many fans like myself. As a former Patreon supporter, I'm so happy that the game actually came together. And honestly, I'm having a lot of fun with it. Although you can't deny that it's still missing a lot in terms of live mode content and general polish. The game is not perfect by any means, and still has a long way to go, but the foundation is undeniably there. However, the game's massive initial success really has me worried. It's truly shocking to me how many controversies and debates the game has already sparked in its short runtime. And what surprised me even more is that many of these debates haven't been started about the game itself, but rather about the community and trolls surrounding it. So much so that I'm concerned about the game slowly witnessing the same fate as The Sims 4, or even worse. The first major debate didn't even come from the game's actual player base. Instead, it came from an ever-present group of anti-woke critics gathering around every single major game release to start a new, unnecessary culture war. As a queer person myself, I'm truly sick of always the same group of entitled players whining about the game having any sort of diversity. In their eyes, Paralives is just another part of the woke agenda because of its progressiveness, which is something that's especially ridiculous regarding the fact that they're talking about a life simulation game. Like, can we just be so for real? Life sims have always been progressive, even dating back decades to The Sims 1. It just lies in their nature. These games are literally simulating life with all its different facets. And people dare to get upset about that? Of course, the main purpose of this is just to farm interactions through rage bait. I know that. These people will hop onto the next release as soon as the opportunity arises. However, I find it important to raise awareness about this ongoing trend, to show just how ridiculous this debate truly is, and just how toxic it can be, not only for games like Paralives, but also the gaming space as a whole. So, it should come as no surprise that many fans are fiercely protective of Paralives. Which leads me directly into the second debate I want to talk about today: toxic positivity. Many of you might agree that being a live sim fan, and especially a Sims 4 fan, hasn't been easy lately. For many years, we've been surrounded by predatory practices, broken DLCs, and wasted potential. Nonetheless, we continue to buy into every new piece of content, hoping that this time it might actually be good, only to get our hopes crushed shortly after. We got brainwashed so much into buying everything, in fear that there might not be any more if we don't. So it's hardly surprising that the main discourse around The Sims 4 became increasingly toxic. Every form of constructive criticism simply got brushed off as hate, making it hard for the criticism to actually break through and make the game better as a whole. And I fear that the same thing might be happening with Paralives. Players sugarcoating the game's apparent flaws and weaknesses and attacking any form of valid criticism just won't help the game. People need to realize that constructive criticism isn't something bad and won't hurt the game. Only through it, the devs are able to make Paralives better for everyone. By shutting criticism down, we will just repeat the same mistakes we made before and risk to make the community into the same toxic place we had with The Sims 4. And I think I can speak for all of us when I say that we definitely don't want that to happen. If you think this fear of history repeating itself is only an exaggeration, you have to look no further than what is already happening surrounding the Paralives modding community. The game's foundation has already been built with mods in mind. From the get-go, the devs provided the exact tools to make creating and installing mods through the Steam Workshop as easy as possible. And these mods are generally free of charge, following the examples of the dev team itself, that promised to never release paid DLC in the future. However, that didn't stop some of the modders from actively paywalling their mods entirely. And don't get me wrong, I generally have no problem with modders using means like Patreon or anything similar to monetize their work. I do have a problem with it when it is actively done for a game like Paralives, That itself isn't even fully finished and is building its trust on avoiding any form of predatory monetization. As a result of these paid mods, players expected the devs to outright ban or forbid them. The devs, however, have decided to allow any kind of monetization for mods. They are not openly supporting it, but they're also not actively against it either. They basically tolerate it, to the surprise of many, including myself. I, for one, would have expected them to take a stance against these practices. And by that, I don't mean outright forbidding them, as they would not have any chance to enforce that anyway. But at least some form of statement showing their disapproval. Simply tolerating these practices just doesn't align with the general monetization philosophy surrounding the game, and just leaves a bad taste in many players' mouths. The best course of action regarding this topic is for us players to simply not buy into these paywall mods, to avoid the inevitable downward spiral this creates and stop the monetization right in its tracks. Which brings me to my final verdict. At its core, Paralives is a monumental achievement. As an indie project funded by passionate supporters, it has defied all the odds and proven that the live sim genre doesn't have to belong only to one single corporate giant. The foundation is undeniably there, and it genuinely has the potential to become a staple of the genre. But a game cannot thrive on its foundation alone. It needs a community that is willing to help it grow. We cannot let ourselves become blind to the flaws appearing right in front of us. Protecting Paralives from bad faith criticism is important, but we cannot allow that defensiveness to mutate into an echo chamber of toxic positivity. Constructive criticism is not hate. Pointing out missing features and existing flaws, as well as speaking up against paid mods, isn't trying to destroy the game. It's trying to save it. Indie devs need honest and transparent feedback to turn a great existing foundation into a long-lasting masterpiece. If we keep sugarcoating every flaw and silencing valid concerns, we aren't protecting Paralives. We are simply repeating the exact history we spent over a decade trying to escape. So let's stop this downward spiral right in its tracks. And let's look at this game with honest, loving, and critical eyes to build a community that Paralives truly deserves to thrive. But hey, these are just my thoughts on all the situations surrounding Paralives. Let me know what you think about the state of the community down in the comments. And let's discuss how you feel about the different controversies surrounding the game. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.